Eric Thompson was not the kind of man to get caught up in strange things. He lived alone, worked a stable IT job, had predictable routines, and didn't believe in the paranormal, conspiracy theories, or things that went bump in the night. His apartment was spotless, his life simple. But sometimes even the most ordered lives are the easiest to unravel because they have the most to lose when something unnatural enters the frame. It began innocently enough. On a Friday night, after finishing his second glass of wine and scrolling through a vintage electronics site, Eric stumbled on an old baby monitor listed for $20. It was dusty, rectangular, clearly used, and paired with a matching black and white video unit. The seller's note said, "Works perfectly. No Wi-Fi needed. Comes with monitor and power cable." Eric didn't know why he clicked buy. He didn't have a child. He never had. But something about it tugged at him, like a buried memory teasing its way to the surface. The next morning, he drove 40 minutes across town to pick it up. The man who met him at the door was gaunt, pale, and visibly nervous. He handed over the box without saying a word. When Eric asked, "How old is this?" the man hesitated. "Too old. It's seen enough," he muttered, eyes darting to the monitor. "Don't keep it plugged in too long." Before Eric could ask what that meant, the door shut in his face. That night, more out of boredom than curiosity, Eric plugged in the monitor. The small green light blinked to life. The screen flashed briefly, then stabilized. What he saw made him lean in. It was a nursery, a room he had never seen before. Pale yellow wallpaper with faded giraffes and elephants. A white crib against the far wall. A mobile above it, spinning slowly. A teddy bear lay next to a tiny, motionless bundle. The audio was faint, just a soft ambient hum, like the sound of air breathing through the silence. Eric frowned. Was this footage coming from the camera? Was the camera even on? He walked around his apartment. The paired unit had no signal antenna and no visible place to attach or configure a new feed. There was no way it should have worked unless the original camera was still powered somewhere. But where was somewhere? For the next hour, he watched as nothing changed. Then, just as he got up to turn it off, a soft melody began to play. A lullaby. Gentle, haunting. The screen flickered slightly. The mobile above the crib spun a little faster. Then the door in the video creaked open. Eric's breath caught. A woman entered the nursery slowly. Thin, almost frail. Long dark hair covered her face. She wore a nightgown, dragging slightly as she walked. She leaned over the crib and gently adjusted the blanket over the baby. Then she looked up. Her face didn't appear. Her hair still hung like a curtain. But Eric felt her looking, not just at the camera, at him, through it. He yanked the power cable and backed away, heart hammering. It was just interference, he told himself. Maybe someone nearby had a baby monitor on the same frequency. But who used these analog models anymore? He left it unplugged the next day. But at night, the urge came back like an itch in his mind. At 2:43 a.m., he plugged it in again. The same nursery, the same crib, but now it was empty. The mobile spun wildly. The rocking chair in the corner moved on its own. The woman entered again. She didn't touch the crib this time. She walked straight to the camera. Her body blurred, the image distorted. She raised one hand and pressed it against the lens. And Eric felt something press against his chest, like an invisible palm. He screamed and turned it off. That was the beginning. Over the next few days, the monitor would turn itself on, even unplugged. He'd wake up and find it humming on the kitchen counter. The image always shifting. Sometimes the baby was there. Sometimes it wasn't. The woman was always present, never fully visible, but unmistakably there. He tried smashing it. Nothing. It was intact the next day. He threw it off his fifth-floor balcony. It reappeared on his nightstand the next morning. He contacted the seller. No response. He drove back to the house, only to find it boarded up, abandoned. A neighbor said the man who lived there vanished weeks ago. Sad story, she said. He lost his baby in a fire 5 years back. Went a little crazy. Talked to himself. Always carried that monitor. Said his kids still cried at night. Eric didn't respond. He got in his car and drove home in silence. When he returned, the monitor was on. This time, the video was of his apartment. It was dark, dim, but unmistakable. The angle showed his living room, the couch, the window, the hallway. And then he saw movement, a shadow, small, toddler-sized, crawling from the hallway toward the center of the screen. Then the woman followed. Her hands clutched something against her chest, a bundle wrapped in cloth. Eric grabbed his phone, tried recording the monitor screen, but the video came out static. He screamed at the monitor, "What do you want from me?" And the woman paused, turned. For the first time, her face was visible. Eric dropped the monitor. It was Marissa. He hadn't seen her in 6 years. They dated briefly, a whirlwind romance that ended in a brutal, sudden breakup. He remembered it well. The fight, her shouting something about being pregnant, him storming out, drunk and angry. He never called back, never responded to her messages. She vanished after that. Moved cities, maybe, or so he thought. But now, her face was on this monitor. Pale, sunken, twisted by sorrow. Still unmistakably her. He collapsed onto the floor, gasping. Had she been pregnant? Was the baby his? He searched his phone. Old emails. Archived messages. A single unread email from 6 years ago. Subject, "Please read this, Eric." He opened it. "I'm keeping the baby. I don't need anything from you. I just wanted you to know. I hope one day you'll be ready to meet him." Eric's eyes blurred. The timestamp was from the night of their final fight. Then he remembered the fire. A house burned down near where she'd been living. He'd seen it on the news. No survivors. A young woman, an infant presumed dead. He never made the connection. Never bothered. Now the past came crashing down on him. He whispered into the air, "I'm sorry." The monitor crackled. The screen shifted again. Now the image was of the crib, but this time the baby was standing, staring directly into the lens. Eyes wide, face pale and blank. And then the child spoke. "You left us." Eric shook violently. "I didn't know," he shouted. The screen flickered again. Now the nursery was burning. Flames licked the walls. Smoke filled the frame. The woman screamed, clutching the baby, banging on the camera's side, his side. Then black. He screamed, knocked the monitor to the floor. It cracked, and the voice came again, this time from behind him. "You don't get to forget." He turned slowly. The woman stood in the doorway of his bedroom, holding the child. Eric backed up against the wall, heart racing, gasping for air. "Please." "I didn't know." She said nothing, just stared. The child reached out. Eric collapsed. The next morning, neighbors reported hearing screaming. By the time police entered, the apartment was empty. No Eric. No signs of a break-in. No blood. No struggle. Just a baby monitor sitting on the floor, powered on. And on its screen, a man curled in a corner, whispering apologies. And in the background, a child giggling. The monitor has since changed hands. No one keeps it long, but always finds its way back. And every time someone turns it on, they see a new face. Sometimes it's theirs,